recorded live at 4ZZZ Studios, Meanjin, Brisbane.
On 102.1 FM.
And broadcast across Australia on the Community Radio Network.
You're listening to Zed Games.
Zed Games brings you the best in gaming news, reviews, community and culture. Want to reach out?
Share your hot take?
Or do you just want to share your favourite game?
Find us on socials at Zed Games AU.
You're listening to Zed Games. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Hazel, and who have I got here in the studio with me?
You've got Zahra.
Zahra and
Caroline.
Wow. And we, in my personal opinion, have got a jam-packed show tonight.
Oh, yeah, we've got a fair bit.
Because we have got the beautiful talents of these two beautiful people in the studio with me.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
And later on in the show, we have got some amazing segments from them. First up, we have got the gaming news, which we'll be listening to shortly. After that, Caroline is going to be treating us to a review of a game called Farm Keeper.
Yep.
And after that, Zahra is going to be reviewing a VR game, which we haven't had in a while, I don't think.
I think we have like one VR game review a month kind of thing.
Yeah. The frequency's not very high.
Radio joke.
How are the two of you?
I'm good. It's pretty. It's chilly though.
It is freezing.
It is hot.
Windy.
I know it's Brisbane and it
hard.
never actually gets cold, but it is freezing.
Yeah, it is hard to like use the keyboard and mouse lately, you know? Like I'm sure everyone out there who's also like keyboard, mouse, gamers just my fingers are freezing off.
I'm living in my hoodie.
Yeah. Something warm and snug is definitely the thing.
An Xbox controller into it to play games.
I just want you know what? I think I just want bare hands. Like hands.
The hands of a bear?
The hands of a bear.
Okay,
I think that will help.
It
will help me withstand the cold. Yeah.
Not to be an old lady, but my joints are acting up in this cold weather.
Yeah.
My knees feel like they're going to fall off.
I hope everyone out there, make sure you get your wheat bags all warmed up. Try and stay snug and hydrated.
Drink some tea. I've been having some nice sleepy time tea before bed to warm me up before I honk shoe, etc.
This is turning into a self-care episode.
This is just turning into how old we are.
I went to the cafe on my lunch break today specifically to get a hot drink to warm me up. And then the barista was like, hey, we actually made our Vietnamese iced coffee with lactose-free milk today specifically for you.
That's so nice.
And poured me one, weather? And I was just like, oh, I need it. But it's so cold.
Well, then you also order a hot drink.
I'm not made of money.
Drink some hot water from the bathroom.
This is getting wildly off topic.
Yeah, we're not even talking about video games.
Are the two of you excited about video games?
I am.
I'm always excited about video games.
You're listening to Zed Games with Hazel, Zahra, and Caroline, and Zara's going to take it away with the week in gaming news now.
This week in gaming news, PAX Oz 2024 Indie Showcase winners. PAX Oz has announced the winners from this year's Oz Indie Showcase, all made by independent creators around Australia. The showcase will be a part of PAX Oz 2024 from October 11th to the 13th. The 6 winners of the digital category: Untethered by True Anomaly Entertainment, Anti-Citizen Red by Queebly Software, Ascending Inferno by Apollyon Studios, Reader by Spork Tank, The Rewinder 2 by Misty Mountain Studio, and last but not least, Max Mustard, the VR game developed by Queensland studio Toast Interactive. The 6 winners of the tabletop category includes Fight with Spirit by Story Brewers Roleplaying, Oracle by Oracle Games, Glade by T-Frog Games, Frayed Ally by Button Fox, Nimbus by Neural Forge, and Mean with an exclamation mark by Mean Games. The Olympic Esports Games. The International Olympics Committee has announced a 12-year partnership with Saudi Arabia to host the Olympic Esports Games, a standalone event. Saudi Arabia has hosted the Esports World Cup, which did result in a number of people boycotting the event over human rights concerns. Esports has been ramping up over the last couple of decades, with schools and universities creating their own teams, competitive events gaining more and more popularity and viewership, and the introduction of esports events in the 2022 Commonwealth Games and Asian Games, where people from the Olympic Committee attended and were like, okay, now we get it. According to Albin Decalotte, CEO of G2 Esports, keeping esports as a separate event is intended to give more space for a celebration of gaming and esports, rather than being at one of the additional sports. Rocket League, League of Legends, and Street Fighter are likely picks considering that they were a part of the Commonwealth and Asian Games. Gotta croc 'em all. If you are aware of Crocs and a fan of Pokemon, listen up. We're getting 4 new designs inspired by some Generation 1 Pokemon. Charizard with a flame-like marble print, Gengar which is giving ghostly glamouflage, Snorlax with a dreamy blue marble print, and finally Jigglypuff all pink and pastel. Each pair of Crocs comes with some gibbets with the Pokemon the Croc is based off. No console required. Amazon now has a handy dandy Xbox no console required bundle launching alongside their Fire TV Stick Xbox Cloud gaming app. What this means is that Xbox Game Pass users can stream games straight to their TV without requiring a console. Microsoft has also released an ad that parodies the Scream movies, promoting the rollout with "You don't need an Xbox to play Xbox." Although some Xbox fans do feel that the console itself has been deprioritized by Microsoft while expanding Game Pass and their reach across PCs, mobile phones, and now TVs. Remember that there have been a lot of changes made to Game Pass and the tiers available, as covered in the news last week by Paul. Only the Ultimate tier will allow for Fire TV integration. News nibbles. Access Studios, the animation and VFX team, is officially going into administration, affecting 162 employees. The studio has worked on a variety of trailers and cinematics for Destiny, Halo, League of Legends, and more. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutants Unleashed is the video game continuation of the film Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem, which was released last year. A Heart Full of Games, the team developing the game, will be keeping that stylized art direction from the movie. If you've been participating in the early access period for EA Sports College Football 25, you might have encountered a placeholder bug when trying to select your game mode. Players were given 2 options, a placeholder image titled Lorem Ipsum, and a placeholder image titled Lorem Ipsum. Oops. And now for some upcoming games. July 18th, that's today, brings Flintlock, Siege of Dawn for the PS5, Xbox Series X and PC, and Bow, Path of the Teal Lotus for the Nintendo Switch, PS5 and PC. July 19th will bring Kunitsu Gami, Path of the Goddess for the PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and X, Xbox One and PC. July 23rd will bring Exophobia for the PS5, PS4, Nintendo Switch, Xbox Series X and X, Xbox One and PC, F1 Manager 24 for the PS5, PS4, Nintendo Switch, Xbox Series S and X, Xbox One and PC, The Star named EOS for the PS5, Nintendo Switch, Xbox Series X and X, Xbox One, PC and Mac, and July 25th will bring Arranger, a role-puzzling adventure for the PS5, Nintendo Switch, PC and Mac, and Frostpunk 2 for the PC. That's it this week in gaming news.
Thank you for the week in gaming news, Zahra.
Oh, no worries. Anytime.
Now,
I'll take you up on
I'm
that.
fascinated by the way that Microsoft has decided that Xbox is no longer like a product, it's more of a concept.
It's kind of a vibe, really.
Yeah.
It's kind of a...
It's in the air, it's around you.
It's an attitude.
Yeah.
It's a way of life.
It doesn't have exclusive games. You don't need the box to play Xbox. And now it can be on your Amazon Fire TV stick. Have any of you actually tried any of the cloud gaming services?
Nope.
Oh, no.
I tried the Xbox game streaming one once. I tried it with Forza Horizon 4, I think. And it was an absolutely horrible experience. It was like a second of input lag.
Yeah, I don't think we have good enough internet to
Certainly not
that.
in Australia.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. Well, I'm also terrified by what seems to be the House of Saud taking control of esports.
Yes. Like, it kind of makes sense because, I mean, is esports not the most indoor sports possible? Like, is it not the most air-conditioned thing possible?
I guess.
Like, if you are in a country that's quite warm, is it not the most sensible thing to sort of like invest
Stay
all your
inside and play
sports
video games.
money into? But yeah, I don't know. A 12-year contract. Yeah.
12-year partnership. That's
a
scary
long
to me.
time.
Like 12 years?
Surely other countries.
Nobody else is allowed to do the Olympic esports games for 12 years?
Surely, we've been doing esports in other countries as well, right? Like,
I mean, we had the Commonwealth Games one.
Like the League of Legends tournament, the big championships is massive. So like, I don't know.
Hi, my name is Jason Toto Tam. I'm a graphic designer and game maker, and I'm based in Sydney, Australia. I'm making a game called Buy Noodle Eating Champs, which is a 1v1 noodle eating battle game. That's available soon. Just finished a Kickstarter campaign, and I'm getting copies to my house and gonna be selling them online and at retail stores. And then I'm also making another game called Coffee Up, which is a co-op coffee making game where you're baristas working at the latest coffee shop in town, and you got to survive 7 days in business by memorizing your regulars' names and coffee orders. And yeah, you can learn more and find out more about me via Instagram at TotoTam, and you can also go to my website at tototam.com.au.
You're listening to Zed Games with Hazel, Zahra, and Caroline. And wait, what's that on the horizon? Is that... Oh my god, it's a review!
I don't know why I did that. Anyway, I'm reviewing the game called Farm Keeper. There's no attacking or anything in it. It's a tile-based little farming game with pixel graphics. And the goal is to make money to pay the rent every few days.
Ooh.
Oh man, that's too real.
How do you make money? By farming. You start with a house surrounded by 8 tiles. You click to till the land, click again to plant a crop, then click again to water the crop. But you've run out of stamina, so you end the day. Overnight, your crops have grown and can be harvested. Click to harvest, click to retill, click, click, click. Each day you get a free tile to place out of 3 random choices. Maybe you'll get a well that lets you refill your stamina bar once every 3 days, or maybe a ranch that you can place animals in. But animals need to eat to grow up, so they'll need to either be next to your crops while they'll eat up whatever you've planted, or you'll need to place a feed tray that you have to pay to fill. Unless you get a barn tile that will automatically fill all adjacent feed trays every morning. As the game progresses, the rent gets higher, but more tiles become available for purchase, which, with completing certain objectives on successful runs, unlocking new tiles. Excuse me. While the short-term goal of the game is to pay the rent, you win the game by progressing enough to build a mansion and therefore own the island, which is, I guess, how real estate works, I guess.
So you escape renting by becoming a landlord?
Are you renting?
Or are you more of an owner-occupier?
Listen.
Are you the only person on the island?
Yeah, apart from any workers that you place down.
Okay, all right.
Listen,
you know what?
I've not gotten into the deep lore. I'm so sorry for not adding that to my review.
I need to know whether this game is socially conscious or not.
Yeah.
All right?
Hush. Anyway, well, the short-term goal of the game is to pay the rent. Wait, I've already said this. Yes. You win the game by progressing enough to build a mansion, therefore own the island. If you don't have enough for rent when it comes due, well, your farm is seized and you lose the game.
Oh, okay.
There's different difficulties. There's Relax, which is 20 days. Challenge, 32 days. The Boss, 52 days. And Epic is also 50 days. But you have half the stamina available in the other modes.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Hardcore farming.
Yeah.
Survival farming.
The higher up in difficulty, the more rent you have to pay. And yeah.
Would there be like an extra difficult mode where you accrue debt in real life?
I don't want to think about that.
It overdraws your bank balance.
No, horrible. Anyway, there's a lot of planning required in this game to get the most out of the tiles you have. And if you have a momentary brain fart and do a massively stupid placement, that can be enough to cost you the game in later difficulties. Also, there seems to be two strategies that are objectively the best, since one of the achievements is to beat the hardest difficulty without using those specific tiles.
Oh.
Yes. The music is nice and chill, although as usual I tend to have it muted while I watch YouTube on my other monitor, and the little blips and boops as you click on everything are very cute. The various difficulties and the challenges to unlock tiles gives you goals to work towards in the long term, and playing on the lower difficulties is a nice chill way to pass the time. It's great for people who love to optimize and synergize, as the main draw of the game is to maximize your farm yields by linking together tiles that boost each other to earn maximum profits. Great game if you're a Ferengi. That's my review. Oh yeah, and yeah, the game is Farm Keeper. It is $7.50 full price on Steam, and it's developed and published by Napas Tortica.
Whoa, that's a name. All right.
Yes.
It sounds fun.
It is. It was a
but
cute
it
little
actually-
game.
Relaxing up until it isn't.
No, until
No.
I have to go full try hard mode, and I still haven't beaten
I'm
epic
just imagining
mode.
you bringing out like a budget sheet, and that's like the try hard mode. Is like you're like, okay, I need to start drawing this out, and you bring out like a spreadsheet, and you start like.
And there's
creating-
also the RNG of you get random tiles to choose from. So if you want to go with a certain strategy, sometimes you can't do that because you don't get the tiles you need.
Yeah.
And then on the longer playthroughs, it's like, oh, I forgot to, I don't know, I accidentally planted a subpar crop and now I won't have enough to make the rent. And
I feel like there's a lot that could be said about the politics of the political implications of this game. But we're not going to do that on air.
It's not that deep, I don't think.
It's not that deep, but I am that deep. All right?
Please.
So instead of that,
You're a puddle.
we are going to be listening to...
Wow.
You're listening to Zed Games at 4ZZZ.
You're listening to Zed Games on 4ZZZ.
Oi mate, you're listening to Zed Games at 4ZZZ.
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 Got a bit carried away.
You're listening to Zed Games with Hazel, Zahra, and Caroline, and we are about to get stuck into another review. Here it comes.
Good evening, listeners. You're listening to 102.1 FM Zed Games, and I'm your reviewer, Zahra. Imagine for a moment that it's midnight. You've just tuned into your favorite late night chill radio show, and it's time to line up some tunes. Well, listeners, I hope you're ready for some bops, because tonight I have...
Ring, 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 ring.
Oh, we have a caller at this hour. Well, caller, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us why you're calling in tonight?
Zahra, there's no time to waste. I'm the 911 dispatcher. We have a serial killer on the loose. He's killed the sheriff. The calls aren't getting out of this town. I need to get help, and I need you to manage the 911 calls for the next 4 to 6 hours. I've already diverted them to your phone. Please try to keep everyone safe.
Well, okay then. the show must go on, I guess. Killer Frequency is a first-person murder mystery puzzle game that puts you in the headphones of Forrest Nash, who used to be a big-time radio star, now the host of a midnight request show in a town of 1,000 people. I personally think that sounds like a dream. Well, I suppose he's also now the dispatcher for the town. While someone finds help, you need to run a radio show and accept calls ranging from music requests to desperate pleas for help. With the help of your producer, Peggy, you must try to understand the danger that the caller is in and help them through it, guiding them through a myriad of obstacles and hazards. All while a masked serial killer is on the loose, seemingly killing with no rhyme or reason. Known as the Whistling Man, he supposedly died 30 years ago, but has now returned to terrorize the town yet again. The best part, tonight is actually the anniversary of him dying, allegedly. You'll have a desk and panel to manage, complete with a soundboard, tape player for the ads, and a record player, and it's a lot of fun. I played on the Quest 2, so I got the whole VR experience, and it worked incredibly well. A lot of it is quite interactable, and I did find myself trying to practice good radio habits, like fading in mics, trying to fade between music and calls, getting a feel for the music, even spending a moment to announce what the song is. The game lets you be a good radio host. But of course, as we all know, sometimes things go wrong. Now, granted, we've only had to deal with equipment going on the fritz or a storm taking us off air, not a serial killer. Killer Frequency steps...
Yes.
Don't say that!
That you know of.
Killer Frequency steps it up a notch. When you receive a call from someone who needs help right now, they are hiding in their closet and they can hear the killer at the door kicking it down. It's pretty tense. You have to know what to advise next. Should they run or stay put? If they're on the second floor, they can't just leave through a window. And if the person is elderly, well, there's no way they could overpower someone. We will have to walk someone through how to hotwire a car or how to get out of a giant maze, as in made out of corn. And this isn't necessarily information you'll know off the top of your head, but the information is always available to you if you look carefully enough, if you listen closely enough. One of the shows at the station is all about car maintenance. Maybe they have a magazine or something that'll help. The intern might have something in her notes about the strengths of her peers, or the receptionist is a huge fan of the maze. If you make the right choice, then your caller lives a little longer. If you make the wrong call, maybe because you missed something, or you panicked, or you ignored your gut feeling, you lose the caller.
Wow, what a way to lose a listener.
Each loss made me a little more thorough each time, to the point that I spent 15 minutes standing at a corkboard, piecing together the clues, arranging and rearranging the notes until I understood the story. I tore apart the office, tearing through every document, magazine and floppy disk I could get my virtual hands on. I asked Peggy for her thoughts, and she does give you hints here and there to nudge you in the right direction. Always listen to your producer, folks. Each person you save has a piece of the puzzle, allowing you to identify the killer and stop them. Lose too many pieces and you don't have that much of a picture. The sound design is a lot of fun because it's inherently so interactable. I get to flip through the records I have near me, pick one out, give it a little spin and press that button with a wonderfully tactile click. Inserting the cassette into the tape player is so satisfying. This game takes place in the 80s and there's a lot of physicalness to the sound of things. The calls you get are so full of character you can almost picture the person on the other end of the phone. And although it is fully voiced, it is also subtitled, which I appreciate. Now, the Whistling Man is called the Whistling Man for a reason, and it is an eerie sound to hear in the background of these calls, gradually getting louder and louder. Killer Frequency is, I'm going to say, a fantastic game. It's so engaging and interactive, and I know it still has the same level of interactability outside of VR. Each call is different and unique, and the challenge presented is different each time. Every character in this story is only really a voice. Peggy is the only one who has a face, but she's in her producer room and mostly a silhouette. But there's so much character. I have beef with this pizza guy in this game because he's an annoying caller. We all have beef with this guy. I still take his calls, but... Ring, 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 ring. Oh, another call? Hang on, listeners. I'll wrap up this review in a minute.
Hey, it's the pizza man!
Shush! Anyway. Play Killer Frequency. I'm Zahra, this is Zed Games at 4ZZZ, and now I conclude my radio review about a radio game developed by Team 17 and available on pretty much every console, PC, and MetaQuest 2.
Mamma mia, pizza.
Oh, the pizza man. The pizza man's my enemy.
Pizza man.
Thank you for that masterpiece, Zahra.
No worries.
Listeners, if there are any 911 or 000 or any emergency service dispatchers listening to this, I do not want your job.
No.
Do not divert your calls
in fact,
to
if that
4ZZZ.
phone ever called, if that
phone rang in the middle of a show, I wouldn't know what to do.
I would not answer it.
I've answered it before, but I wouldn't know what to do. So don't call. Just text
but
in.
always feel free to text in on 0420 626 733. That's a lot less scary for us.
That's a lot less scary. Well, you're listening to Zed Games with Hazel, Zahra, and Caroline.
Mamma mia.
And we're here on 4ZZZ Community Radio. We're all about community, and our community is the Brisbane Games community, or Queensland by extension.
And I think it's probably the sickest community around. Got some pretty sick stuff happening.
Oh, they need medicine.
We've had Webbed come out of Queensland. We've had Unpacking from straight from Brisbane.
Assault Android Cactus.
That's another one. So many. I mean,
Bears in Space.
We've just been talking about Queensland Games Festival. But coming up, we have, in collaboration with Netherworld, the Indie Dev Night, which will be on the 15th of August from 6 p.m. till late. And we will be showcasing a variety of indie games made by indie devs who are local.
Some locally grown games.
Yeah, it's totally free. We'll be using the Lost Souls karaoke space as well this year, so it's going to be pretty sick. So that's.
And
listeners,
Zahra says this year.
That's your Thursday night plans now for the 15th of August.
15th of August, that is.
15th of August.
And yes, Zahra says this year because we did this event last year and it was a huge hit. Everybody loved it. The place was packed. There was no room to move.
No, yeah,
which is why
we're very grateful for the extra space this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had some awesome games last year, and not to spoil anything, but I think we got some awesome games for this year too.
Oh yeah.
Are applications still open, or are they over?
They are still open. If anyone is interested, you can check out our socials as well as flick through an email to zgames@4ZZZ.org.au. Would love to have you there if you are a dev and you want to show your stuff.
Well,
we want to play your stuff.
Yeah, we want to play your stuff, and we want to play songs from your stuff. And I have had so much fun making with the two of you.
Thank you, Hazel. We've had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yay.
I got to do a bit.
It's always fun to do a bit. We got to do bits, we got to do reviews, we got to do music, we got to do news. We had it all.
Yeah.
Well, we will be back next week. So it's goodbye, good night, and we love you from us.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Zed Games.
If you'd like to listen to more, you can find us on the Community Radio Plus app
or find us on socials at ZED Games AU.
See you next time.